Welcome to today's show. My name is Holger, and in today's episode, we are talking about the next big thing. Now, everybody asks me, what is the next big thing? Gin has been a project which I've been working with for the last nearly 5 years, and the last couple of years, people have been starting to ask, what's next, and is it rum, and my answer is, it's not rum. It's something that most bottle stores are not expecting, and somebody that has got the same belief as I have in the next big thing is Sean OConnor. Sean is a theatre maker and writer, and he is also planning an event, and I think he's very brave to do that. The name of the event is Mindful Drinking. Welcome to the show, Sean.
How's it, Holger? Thanks for having me today.
Sean, tell us, mindful drinking, is that the next big thing?
Yeah, big time. It's definitely the next big thing. Mindful drinking is becoming mainstream across the world. Mindful drinking is featured in Time magazine, on CNN, in the Times of London. People are asking, what is mindful drinking? Mindful drinking is really about choice. It's about the choice to think about what we consume on a liquid level and what we put into our body and what the effects of our drinking is, or what the effects of our drinking are.
So I assume it means non-alcoholic.
It's non and low alcoholic,
okay.
And alcohol-free. There's quite a debate about the nomenclature or naming of drinks.
Yes.
Because some do contain a trace of alcohol, some don't. But yeah, it's not saying no to alcohol. It's about being able to choose non-alcoholic or alcohol-free drinks.
Yeah.
Sometimes drinking those in rotation with alcoholic drinks, and sometimes making a complete choice to only drink alcohol-free drinks.
So my first encounter with non-alcoholic beer was probably at school. There was something called
Barbican. SAB had just launched a product called Barbican, a non-alcoholic beer. And I can remember taking a trip with the school bus to Maritzburg or Durban, and we were in a supermarket and we wanted to buy this Barbican, and the teacher says, "Naught, that's not allowed. No Barbican at our school."
And then when I went to Germany after my studies, we came across something in the bars. Every bar had this thing called Klausthaler, which is now also available in South Africa. And then when I started working at Bavaria Breweries in 1994, we launched a product called Bavaria 0.5, which I thought was very clever. It contained very little alcohol, lots of unfermented sugars, and we tried to market it as a sports drink.
So Bavaria and Klausthaler will be at the Mindful Drinking Festival that we're hosting at Kirstenbosch in Cape Town in October, on Sunday, October the 20th. My first encounter was with Beck's Blue.
Beck's Blue, yeah.
When my then wife was pregnant. I really liked being able to bring a non-alcoholic into the house, and she could drink that, and I could drink my normal...
Your normal beer?
That was.
Okay.
Like normal tea. I don't know why we use this word normal in South Africa. Anyway, so...
How did you even start with something like thinking about a mindful drinking thing? You obviously... people always think, what has he done wrong?
So, I had the privilege of going to Glasgow a couple of years ago to listen to my idol, Bob Dylan, play 3 concerts in a row on 3 nights in a row, and I had a complete jaw in Glasgow. And not long after I came back, I read about a mindful drinking festival that happened in Glasgow that was promoted by a UK organization called Club Soda, who are really leading the mindful drinking movement from the UK. They've trademarked mindful drinking movement, and they've hosted quite a few mindful drinking festivals. The most recent one happened just a couple of weeks ago in London. So I read about that, and then I thought, given the fact that these drinks seem to be coming out on a regular basis onto our shelves here in South Africa, and I've been noticing more and more entrants to the market. I started contacting producers and distillers and creators of these drinks and just checking with them whether they thought having a festival where we could bring their drinks together, together with a curious public would be a good idea, and there was an overwhelming yes. So I then contacted a buddy of mine who's very skilled in the events world. His name's Barry Tyson. And together we've embarked on this mission to make this festival a reality.
So I'm sure that people want to sell their drinks, but do you think people want to buy them?
Yes, I do. I think that the non-alcoholic sector is booming. It certainly is booming in Germany, in Spain, in Holland, in the States, in the UK, where the sales figures show that this sector is outperforming other sectors in the drinks industry. Even though it's very small, it's showing growth of around 10%. In some places where traditional alcoholic beer is flatlining or declining, non-alcoholics are booming. A friend of mine came back from Holland the other day and said every year when he goes back to the Netherlands to visit his family, he notices a new trend. And last year it was the amount of plug points for electric cars.
Okay.
And this year it was how many people are drinking non-alcoholic beers. They're everywhere. So yeah, it's a thing. Mindful drinking is definitely a thing. It's and I think that the public see these things on the shelves and aren't really sure what they are or what they taste like.
No, I want to interrupt you. I don't know if you've met Johannes from the Duchess.
From the Duchess.
He said,
yes, I know Johannes socially.
Yeah, so he tells me, or I saw on social media, that he got listed in over 600 outlets in the Netherlands with his Duchess.
Yeah, I mean, they were the world's first non-alcoholic G&T. They came from Cape Town.
Yeah.
It makes sense for us to host our first festival in Cape Town because a lot of the producers are here.
They're all there, yeah.
And yeah, I think they are booming. Their story is a fantastic story. The Duchess are doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Another index might be the amount of money AB InBev has invested in their Kramerville plant to produce Castle Free, which is also
which
booming.
plant is it?
I think it's at Kramerville. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was in my little Pick and Pay local the other day liquor store, which has a dedicated non-alcoholic section. And that's another thing we can discuss is like how these things are placed in store. It seems that there isn't a clear strategy from the industry. But the guy in front of me had 6 Castle Free in his hand in the queue, and I liked doing a bit of informal research. So I said, how's it? Why have you chosen those? And he said, look, I'm going to a braai. I don't want to drink, but I do want to be there with my mates who will be drinking, and I want to drive home. I don't want to have to get an Uber.
Yeah.
And so these taste lekker. I'm just going to take them with me. So it does give us a choice. That's just one of the benefits.
Gives us a choice. It certainly helped us when we launched a product called Bavaria Light about probably 15 years ago in Durban, and at the same time there was the local Metro Police had a zero tolerance campaign, and I'll tell you, we sold more Bavaria Light in Durban than in the rest of the country put together. So,
okay.
So the Metro does help with the Metro Police.
It's so lekker. I haven't had, personally, I haven't drunk alcohol for a while now. But I love beer.
Yeah.
I love beer. And it is so lekker to go out, drink non-alcoholics, and drive through a roadblock.
Yes.
Man, it is fantastic. So I really enjoy that, That's the safety element is one. And then also don't get into a bad mood and start shouting at the kids.
Yeah. So there's lots of benefits of not drinking alcohol. And I think, and the acceptance socially is probably also growing. I was listening to a podcast from the States about the liquor industry or the beverage industry, and somebody mentioned that in Spain, one in three beers are non-alcoholic. 1 in 3 beers sold in Spain are non-alcoholic. I don't know if that can be true. It sounds a lot. And at the same time, it was an American podcast. They were saying that the acceptance of drinking non-alcoholic beer was still, people still got teased if they bought non-alcoholic beers. So, that stigma of buying non-alcoholic beer, whereas in Europe, I think it's quite acceptable to drink non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, I think it's changing, Holger. I took a 6-pack of Bavaria to Bavaria only make a non-alcoholic in South Africa.
Yes.
I took a 6-pack to a dinner party with some of my mom's friends the other night, and this guy said, "What are those?" I said, "Would you like one?" He drank one, and he said, "Wow, that's really cool. I don't actually need to drink alcoholic beer, and I'm worried that, I'd want to drink 3 or 4. Where do you buy them?" So
Yeah.
I think once people are curious.
Yeah.
Which is why we want to host this event, or why we are hosting this event. So it will bring together a very wide range of producers and brands into one place for the first time in Africa. And the public can then get up close and personal to the stories that each brand presents.
So for the last couple of months, I've been pushing this category in the trade. So the spirits, the non-alcoholic spirits, are not selling as fast as I was hoping, but certainly the Heinekens and the Castle Freeze and Bavarias are doing well. So what I've been trying to do is to create a concept where they cross-merchandise. So get the beers, get the spirits, get the wines all together in a concept on a display, so that the one hopefully sells the other. So, with the Duchess and the likes of, we've got obviously the John Ross and the Silver and the Vermont.
The Forbes G&T is also going to be at our festival. We're going to Seedlip, are a premier non-alcoholic spirits. They're going to be at our festival, as well as Vermont Virgin.
The Lotus Wine.
Lotus Wine are going to be there. Van Leeuwen Wine are going to be there.
Okay.
Chatting with Leopard's Leap, that have also released a non-alcoholic or de-alcoholized wine. I agree with you. I think the beers are much easier to apprehend. The so-called spirits or botanicals, in the States they call them shrubs.
Okay.
They're still quite pricey in liquor stores. So I think people are maybe reasonably unwilling to take such a big leap of faith to spend $300 on a bottle of non-alcoholic so-called spirit.
Yeah.
So at the festival, they'll be able to walk around and sample things, and also see how they can use them in mixed drinks and mocktails and things like that.
The Thirsty Scarecrow at the Strawberry Farm near Stellenbosch.
Yeah, is that by the Strawberry Farm?
At the Strawberry Farm. But they've got a cocktail menu of non-alcoholic cocktails, which they make with the RK spirits from the States, and I believe it's doing very well there.
Yeah, RK haven't signed on the dotted line yet, but we've been chatting with them. They are, I think, the only local suppliers of non-alcoholic whiskey and rum and things like that. We're hoping to bring them in. Yeah, we really want to. Our ethos is all about choice.
Yeah.
So we want to create an environment, or an experience where the public can come and choose and learn and discover and have a jaw. There'll be live music. There'll be a blind tasting that's going to be emceed by Nick Rabinovitz, who's a much-loved comedian in Cape Town and further afield. And so we're hoping to get as wide a range as possible. We're even including kombuchas and health drinks. Our philosophy is, as I mentioned, it's really about being mindful about what liquids we choose to ingest and the benefits of those. I mean, there are huge health benefits to drinking non-alcoholic beers. Bitburger, who is one of our early partners, they're also there with Erdinger. Sponsor mountain bike racing in Germany. Bavaria are the non-alcoholic sponsor for the Comrades Marathon here.
I saw that, yeah.
And I'm not kind of up to speed with the health benefits, but they are legion. Sports people like non-alcoholics. So we're hoping to attract fit, sporty types and people who want to be fit, sporty types, but are still stuck to the remote control. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think, an opportunity would definitely be for the trade. If you can get the trade in, I think it would be nice for them to taste these products because, as you say, it's quite expensive to open some of these bottles. You can afford to buy a Savannah Lemon, but to buy a bottle of Seedlip is fairly expensive. And for the trade to experience and see the variety of non-alcoholic products at the show or at the festival would be a great idea.
Yeah, Holger, thank you for that. I think it is a great opportunity for people in the industry and in the trade to come to one place. It's a one-stop shop to taste de-alcoholized wines, to taste the non-alcoholic gins that will be there, and the beers that they may be familiar or unfamiliar with. So we're really excited about the opportunities for our partners and the exhibitors as well as the public. We're committed to advancing the sector as a whole. It's fantastic that we'll have people who might be regarded as competitors actually working together to advance the sector as a whole and the benefits of non-alcoholics for the wider public together.
Yeah, I really think that you can't do this thing on your own. You have to do it as an industry and grow that sector, as you call it. Cool. So, is this your first festival? And it's in Cape Town, eh?
Yeah, we committed to doing this in future. We are trying to break even for our first festival. We hope to attract a headline sponsor for our next festival, which will be in Joburg, and then we're going to hit Durban, and then back to Cape Town. We've found a fantastic venue in Cape Town, which is at the Stone Cottages at Kirstenbosch. It's beautiful and outdoors. It fits in with our ethos, which is all about health and mindfulness. And yeah, hopefully we'll break even. It's cheap for the public to come. It's $100. You'll get a glass and a whole bunch of free tastings. You'll also be able to buy directly from suppliers and producers. And there'll be mocktails and all sorts of other concoctions on sale as well. There'll also be food, no deep fried stuff, all sorts of healthy food available. So yeah, it should be a good experience.
It sounds lovely. So where can people find out more about the festival and about Ocean?
Please visit our website. It's mindfuldrinking.co.za. Please follow us. Please spread the word. We want to have a jaunt together with you and your lovely listeners.
Thank you. Sean, it was great talking to you, and I hope that this is a big success, and I really hope that the trade supports you and that you find a headline sponsor for the future events.
Thanks so much, Holger. It's been a pleasure.
Nice. Cheers, man. That was Sean OConnor from the organizer of the Mindful Drinking Festival, which is in Cape Town in October. Thank you for listening, and